first introduced the MacBook Pro 14, there was a lot of hype surrounding it for many reasons. One of them being the redesign, bringing back ports, a new size coming into the selection, the 14-inch, and of course the M1 Pro chip. There are so many other reasons as well. I've been using it as my main laptop for the past 3 to 4 months, and so is it really worth the hype? Well, in today's video, I will be reviewing it and letting you know. Let's get into it. I have here the base model of the MacBook Pro 14. It comes with 8-core CPU and 14-core GPU processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, liquid Retina XDR display with True Tone technology, and a billion colors. It has up to 1600 nits of peak brightness, 120 Hz refresh rate with ProMotion. One of the main reasons I went with the base model MacBook Pro is because of price. It ranges for about $2,300 to $2,500 depending where you live, and so that's already a steep ask for a laptop. But it is the budget I set for myself and willing to pay. The reason why I went with the base model, even though the MacBook Air M1 serves me perfectly fine, is because I wanted to future-proof myself. This is more so an investment because in the near future, I do plan to edit on 4K and 6K footage. Although the M1 MacBook Air can possibly handle all of that, I do want a seamless and efficient workflow experience, and I believe the MacBook Pro will serve me well in the future. What they did differently this year is bringing the notch. For me, I really don't care for the notch. Like, I don't really think it's that ugly. With the notch, you actually get more space because the bezels are less. According to The Verge, the bezels on the side are 3.5 millimeters, which are 24% thinner than before, and at the top, it's 60% thinner than the past. However, I do find that having thinner bezels does give the illusion that display is much bigger than it actually is. When I showed my boyfriend and my sister the MacBook Pro 14, they didn't believe that it was a 14-inch laptop because the display looked a lot bigger than it actually was. And I really appreciate this, especially when I'm on the go. If I'm in the car or in a coffee shop, which I love to do work at the coffee shop. I've used a MacBook Air 13 before, and my work laptop is a 17-inch ThinkPad Lenovo laptop. But I find the MacBook Pro is a perfect in-between where it gives me enough space that I'm satisfied with, because with the MacBook Air 13, I did want it to be a little bit bigger, especially when I wanted the bezels to be thinner as well. So with the thinner bezels and increase in size, it's a perfect laptop to take around with me on the go without feeling like I'm bringing a brick with me, and it gets the job done. I feel like for those who are really into editing and efficiency, they want a 16-inch laptop just because more space makes it easier to edit, which is why I do like to edit on my monitor. I think there's a general consensus that everyone was ecstatic when Apple brought back ports again, and same as me, content creators live off SD cards and ports, so it's really nice to not have to use a dongle. However, I do still need to use a dongle because for my external hard drive, it is USB Type A, so I need a dongle for that to go into the Thunderbolt 4 port, but because that's the only dongle I need, it lives on my external hard drive, and so it's not like I'm trying to look for it. I never need to since it's always on my external hard drive. When Apple took away the touch bar and brought back the keys for the top section of the keyboard, I was ecstatic about it because I knew my workflow experience would just be more efficient. I like knowing where buttons are, and I don't have to stop what I'm doing to look. And so that is why I've been loving the keys. I have no qualms with it. I love that there is a black surface underneath the keys. It gives the laptop a modern and luxurious professional look to it. Something that's new to me at least is Touch ID. I was introduced to it when I had the MacBook Air M1 and loved it ever since. So with the MacBook Pro, it's just so convenient and saves you that couple seconds of typing in your password. And so all of these design changes really does improve my workflow when it comes to editing, scripting, researching, and all of that stuff. When it comes to editing on the MacBook Pro, having a billion colors and a nearly 4K resolution display really comes in handy and makes for such an amazing experience, especially for color correcting. I am editing on 1080 pixels, but I do color correct with different lighting situations. So with all the colors, I can be much more accurate and just have a better experience knowing that having a finished product in the MacBook Pro will look really good as well on a phone or a monitor monitor, no matter what the device. It's not going to be the same as the MacBook Pro, but I am really happy with the product on other devices. And it goes without saying, watching videos and movies on this is such a great experience because the colors are so vibrant and rich. Everything's just so clear and crisp. It's just beautiful to look at the display, truly. Something I did not expect to really enjoy were the speakers. The MacBook Pro comes with a 6-speaker sound system with stereo sound and studio quality. I truly enjoy listening to music on the MacBook Pro because it does sound very full-bodied and all the elements are coming together for a really great experience. I have a kitchen fan that is extremely loud, and so it's nice that my MacBook Pro can be louder than my kitchen fan when I'm cooking. As you guys already can tell, I do edit my YouTube videos for my YouTube channel, but if you didn't know, I am also a content creator and editor for my 9 to 5. And for my 9 to 5, I do have a work laptop, which is the recent ThinkPad Lenovo laptop. I'll have the specs on the screen. And so comparing the two workflows is honestly a drastic difference because with the MacBook Pro, with the M1 Pro chip, I'm able to run Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop with the internet and music playing in the background all at the same time without ever lagging, crashing on me, or slowing down, especially when I'm editing for 3 to 4 hours at a time. Whereas with my work laptop, when I have all of that running, after about 2 to 3 hours, my laptop's already overheating, the fan is getting extremely loud. A lot of times it does lag and freeze where I had to shut everything down and then reboot it. So this does happen a lot when I'm really into editing. And so it's really impressive to see that this small, thin little laptop compared to my ThinkPad Lenovo can really outbeat in performance based on the ThinkPad Lenovo laptop. Compared to the MacBook Air M1, I do find an improvement when it comes to exporting videos and also running these at a longer period of time. For those who don't edit, I have a lot of tabs open on my internet browser where I'm streaming music, playing videos, doing a lot of research, doing a lot of typing, and I have to say the experience is extremely enjoyable because again, it's so fast. When you open a tab, when you load a website, it's done in a couple seconds. Nothing's slowing down. Your videos aren't lagging because you have a dozen tabs open like myself. Music's still playing seamlessly in the background, and when you're typing, it doesn't lag or slow down on you. It keeps up with your typing speed, especially when you have so much things running in the background. I generally do think it is worth the hype, especially for those who are professionals looking for a seamless and efficient experience when you are working on this. It can handle so many programs at the same time, and this is just the base model alone. If you want more power, you can upgrade the RAM. If you want more storage, you can upgrade the storage if you like for a much better experience. But does the overall general average consumer really need the MacBook Pro? I don't think so. To this day, I still recommend the MacBook Air M1 to a lot of my friends and my coworkers because for what a lot of the general average consumers going to be doing, you're not going to be editing on 4K or 6K all the time. And so with that, the MacBook Air M1 is still something I still recommend, but I do believe the MacBook Pro is worth the hype because they took away the touch bar, because of all of the ports, because the display is bigger and it's still very easy to travel with, especially if you know, on the airplane, in the car, coffee shop, where you don't have that much space. That was my review of the MacBook Pro 14. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped you out. If it did, definitely subscribe to the channel. I make a lot of tech and lifestyle content and would love to have you here. And again, if you haven't already, slap that like button for me. I would totally appreciate it. However, that is it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.